Street. This is LALATE.
It's happening. You may be wondering about that $1,400 third stimulus check, but a series of major announcements just minutes ago from the White House that is going to absolutely have you dancing. Number one, the president confirms minutes ago that he has announced and urged his legal staff to look into the legal viability of canceling $50,000 of your student loan debt by executive order. The push is underway. Great news. Number two, United Airlines announces 200 pilots are being brought back on the job because they think that travel is going to rebound right away. Number three, we have confirmation from Mitch McConnell minutes ago that the Republicans will absolutely vow to oppose the fourth stimulus, which means the president will have to do reconciliation, which is good for you because that sets up reoccurring stimulus checks. Wow. Meantime, I have the latest details about your $1,400 third stimulus check. Would it land this weekend by direct deposit? Which banks are paying early? I also have the latest details about that mailed check that might be missing from the third wave of your $1,400 stimulus checks. I have the latest developing details about the shuttered venue grant, which is now about to go live, and why you may actually qualify for it. The latest about Direct Express by Comerica, and why you could see the deposits occur next week. And then we have a live video from the White House, which I will try to cut in. It's happening right now. And the latest details from the CDC about the virus. It's an incredible big noontime recording. Everything is hitting very quickly, and I got that and more to deliver to you. Stay with me as Noontime LA starts right now. Wow, what a huge noontime recording happening right now as a series of major events are happening that could give you hundreds of thousands of dollars across the board, tens of thousands of dollars, even thousands of dollars. But let's break into a live video happening right now as the press secretary addresses the American people. Let's hear what she's saying right now.
Reopening and rising cases will outpace the vaccination pace.
I would leave it to our health experts to make predictions of that kind. I would say that what we have control over here is how rapidly we can get the vaccine out, how many locations we can ensure the vaccine is available to the public in. We can continue to do more to meet people where they are. That's where our focus is. I'd also note that though some governors have rolled back public health guidelines, something obviously we wouldn't support given the public health guidelines are in place, a number of mayors, local elected officials, businesses have kept them in place even in a number of those states because it's not a political issue and they have taken those steps in order to keep the people in their jurisdictions safe. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jen. So during the campaign, the president signaled his support for expanding paid family and medical leave. Mm-hmm. I know the provision was enacted during the pandemic, expired, and paid leave wasn't in the stimulus package. Is paid leave something that the president will commit to including in the second part of his infrastructure proposal?
Well, there's naturally still ongoing discussions about the final pieces of the package. He does believe that it is. He did include actually emergency paid leave in his rescue plan, so that component was included, and it was President Biden who signed into law this month an extension of a paid leave credit so that more families right now have access to paid leave. So those are all steps he's taken immediately, given his view that this is important to families across the country, especially as they're trying to make ends meet. And he's been clear about his support for permanent paid leave and paid and medical leave. But I don't have anything to predict for you in terms of the next package.
Very helpful video right there. You're watching a live video from the White House in which the press secretary was asked whether the president would extend paid sick leave. Remember, it is in the third stimulus package. It is a lot of money. It's $1,700 a week if you made $45,000 or less 2019. Wow. Thank you for joining me on a big noontime recording. I'm so excited for you across the board. It's a big day. And there's a lot of breaking developing news just in the last 3 minutes. Hopefully I can remember all of it to deliver to you right now. So I'm going to go a little bit quick over the broad stroke of it and then come back over the details. But first, if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Boy, let's hit all the details first. The $14 third stimulus check, Wave 2 and Wave 3 checks are in the mail. This is the March 26th check. They're coming late. The April 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th checks will start to land today. Could be early or could be on time. We don't know yet because the data is still coming in on that. And then during the opening remarks, one viewer said, asked me a question, Robin Clark, LALATE, do you think it's fair that that they are making people on SSI and SSI have to wait to April 7th to get the stimulus check? This is where the narrative just keeps on going off the tracks. It's absolutely categorically untrue. That's not what's happening. I have hundreds of thousands of viewers who are on SSI and SSDI who have gotten stimulus checks, number one. They got it on the first wave. They got it on the second wave. They got it on the third wave. They got it on the Direct Express card from Comerica, the second wave and the third wave. And guess what? If you have not gotten a stimulus check yet and you're on SSI and SSDI, you're not having to necessarily wait to April 7th. You may be in the second and third wave, and that mail check may be landing in the mailbox today, because I have hundreds of thousands of other viewers who are on SSI and SSDI who are March 26 mail check delivery people, and that may be you as well, and that check could be landing today. So no, they are not holding people to April 7th that are on SSI and SSDI. Let me make this also clear. I have hundreds of thousands of viewers who are not on SSI and SSDI who have not gotten stimulus checks. They're still waiting on their stimulus checks as well. I'll be breaking down all these details across the board later in this video. But understand, there is not one group or one time or one card waiting for April 7th. And no matter how many times I say it in the recordings, people still think that that's the situation. It's important to understand, I don't want you to miss a mail check, because if you miss the mail check, it's next to impossible to replace it timely. All right, let me cut to the other breaking news that just happened minutes ago. Minutes ago, Mitch McConnell came out and issued a new statement. The statement issued just literally 3 minutes ago says that he will have all Republicans oppose the president's fourth stimulus package, which is great news for you, because that means the bill will go by reconciliation and will go to the Senate, at which those 21 of 50 Senate Democrats who wrote again this week what they're going to do will amend the bill to put in monthly reoccurring stimulus checks for all of you. This is really good news. So the fact that Mitch McConnell is saying we're going to block the bill, the setting it up for reconciliation helps you for getting that reoccurring stimulus check. That is the first major breaking developing news. The second major breaking developing news is that minutes ago, the president confirmed that he asked Education Secretary Miguel Cardona to prepare a memo on whether the president has the legal authority to cancel $50,000 in student loan debt. His head of staff just said, Chief of Staff Ron Klain just said that hopefully we will see in the next few weeks the results of the memo. And then he'll look at the legal authority, and then he'll look at the policy issues, and he will make a decision. This is jaw-dropping, breaking, great news. If you tuned in earlier today on LALATE, you watched this video from Chuck Schumer 24 hours ago, and yet another push from Chuck Schumer, who the president does owe a lot to, because Chuck Schumer is the one getting the president's bills passed through the Senate, released another video. And in that video, Chuck Schumer stands with Elizabeth Warren and says, guess what? We are asking the president to sign an executive order for a $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness. Let's listen in to this video 24 hours ago that has now pushed the president to consider the legal authority to do it immediately.
And you get a tax bill from the IRS. It's worth about $2,200 for every $10,000 of debt relief. So you get a $30,000 relief. All of a sudden, you would have gotten hit with a $6,000 tax bill from the IRS. based upon the legislation that is now law that the leader helped us with, we now guarantee that no student.
Later in the video, they
Yes.
talk about the executive order.
Breathe easy. But one of the arguments some of the people around him are saying is, how could we do this? They still have to pay taxes on it. No more. Can't make that argument. So that's a help within, as we try to push the White House to go further, to do what we think they should do. This helps us.
Yeah, and
And away we go. The president now, if to confirm back to you where we're going, is the president has now confirmed that he has ordered Miguel Cardona to determine in a memo whether the president has the legal authority to forgive $50,000 of student loan debt. The memo is about 2 weeks out. You'll then see the result of the memo. The president will make a determination. And if he believes he has the authority, the president will sign the $50,000 student loan debt, which will mean that if that is done by executive order, you will not have to pay taxes on the forgiveness that was put in the third stimulus package bill. This is huge breaking news just minutes ago. Boy, let's cut back to that $1,400 third stimulus check. What's going on right now? What's going on right now is that people are between wave 2 and wave 3. Wave 1 was March 17th. Wave 2 was March 24th. Wave 3 was yesterday, March 3rd, 31st. What's important to understand is that the mail checks for the Wave 2 and the Wave 3 are still going out. Wave 2 March 24th checks are actually March 26th, and viewers have still not gotten it. Wave 3 checks are April 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and those have not landed at all. This is what you need to know. If you are on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits, you're getting a mailed check potentially. If you are a Direct Express consumer by Comerica, you're likely, potentially, not getting it by direct deposit. Rather, it's coming in the mail. If you're a Bank of America, Chase, or any big bank customer, it's likely to come in the mail. This is what's going on. Throughout all the waves, Wave 1, Wave 2, and Wave 3, all the way to Wave 5, the Federal Reserve, the Treasury has done the same thing every time. On Friday, they sent out some by direct deposit and some by mail. They randomly decide who gets what. There's no organization to it one way or the other. On Saturday, they update their tool to indicate what just happened the Friday before. So if someone's getting a direct deposit that was sent out on Friday, it goes into the tool on Saturday. If they're getting a mail check, it goes into the tool on Saturday. Then, that Saturday, certain banks do pay the funds ahead of time. Which banks start to pay Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday? Those are the following: Cash App, Chime, Bancorp, H&R Block, Green Emerald Card, and also TurboTax. They pay Saturday through Tuesday ahead of time. But Wednesdays is when the big banks and Direct Express by Comerica only pay. Bank of America, Chase, they only pay on Wednesdays. This Friday, the following is going to happen. Wave 4 is going to go out this Friday for next week. And this Friday, some of you will be getting it by mail and some of you will be getting it by direct deposit. This includes all different types of walk of life. There's not one bank going one place or one group of persons going one place. Everyone's going in different places. This is what's important for you to know. Every single day this week, a check could land in your mailbox by mail check. IRS has made emphatically clear that every wave, 2, 3, and 4 coming up next week, has mail checks, and that they're sending some of you to mail checks. Even Direct Express by Comerica, you're going to mail checks sometimes. Even big banks, Bank of America, you're going to Direct Express you're going to mail checks sometimes. So you need to watch the mail every day this week, all the way to Saturday. Then, on Saturday, you need to watch that tool because it will update itself about what happened on Friday. Also, if you are one of those smaller bank customers I just told you, watch your bank account on Saturday, this Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday because it may post before Wednesday. And then all next week, watch the mail every day until Wednesday, April 7th, where some of you, not all of you, some of you will get direct deposit on April 7th. And then we would repeat the process for the following week thereafter. I'll have more about that later in this video, but let me cut to the other breaking developing news, which is just huge across the board. The day started with the president getting mixed news about the economy. That news about the economy came in as the new jobless claims were released this Thursday morning. And while last week was 658 for new jobless first-time unemployed people, Wall Street expected it to grow to 675. Well, guess what? It grew substantially. The new jobless claims grew to 719. This is a very high level. This is drawn by resurgence of unemployment claims in Virginia, up 30,000 new jobless claims. Kentucky saw a surge of 15,000 new jobless claims. Georgia, 11,000, and California, 10,000. The reoccurring jobless claims fell just narrowly by 46,000 to stay at 3.8 million. What this means for you is that the Federal Reserve and the president will continue to support this economy with stimulus because unemployment numbers are still not where they need to be. The 10-year Treasury note, meantime, remains relatively calm at 1.7%. This is after the president debuted his fourth stimulus package yesterday. That fourth stimulus package provides money for transportation, elderly, disabled, water, electrical grids, manufacturing, and new buildings. But when the bill lands in the Senate, those Senate Democrats have already, no less than 20 or 50 of them, said that they're going to amend the bill. And they have the right to amend the bill like they did last time. They will amend the bill when it lands in the Senate by reconciliation, confirmed minutes ago by Mitch McConnell, who says every Republican's going to oppose it. And when they modify the bill, they will put that reoccurring monthly stimulus check in there. The amount still unknown, perceived to be $1,400 to $2,000 to the end of this year. Elsewhere, what's incredibly surprising, while the job numbers are not good, the president saw great numbers minutes ago. The GDP numbers came in and showed that there was an impressive number for the GDP growth of the economy in first quarter, reporting earlier today. But the GDP number for second quarter 2021 coming over the next few months is expected to surge to 9%, which could literally be one of the highest GDP growth numbers we have ever seen. Ironically, you've heard me talk about growth numbers are sometimes bad for the economy, worries about inflation. But currently the Dow is up 160. The NASDAQ is up 215 points, about 1%. So it remains relatively flat and calm despite the good news about growth right now. With that, let me jump back into the latest details about your $1,400 third stimulus check in just a second. But first, here's a little bit about the community page. Money right now, not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now. It's important that you get this money for rent, utilities, and food. Because as that stimulus check lands, you're going to need more money. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now as noontime LA heats up and continues. How are you? Thank you for joining me. And I appreciate your comments and thank you for tuning in. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. It's birthday month here on this channel as this channel approaches its 1 year anniversary at the end of this month, April 25th. Let's see if we can get to 400,000 subscribers. We're pretty close, so make sure you subscribe. Give up a birthday subscription to this channel. You don't want to miss a single event. And boy, you can see in this recording how there's a lot hitting. I'll have the recap for you in just a second if you're just joining me. Also, like this video. It really helps in the algorithm rankings. If you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. One of the comments from one of the viewers in the chat during the commercial break was, how many people are still missing checks on this channel? A lot. Just a lot. It's hard to tell how many have gotten it versus how many have not gotten it. But I can tell you, it's more that have not gotten it than those that have gotten it. That's number one. Number two, the largest segment of the viewers of this channel who are waiting on checks are those that have an irs.gov tool that says March 26. And yes, today is April 1st, and they've still not gotten it. So if you are a mail check recipient, or even an April 2nd, 3rd, or 4th that's coming up, understand they're late. Don't worry, it's coming. It's late. About 100 plus per day report that they just saw it show up. So don't worry, the mail checks are coming. Finally, someone dropped in one of the comments during the commercial break, why are they sending mail checks when we have direct deposit set up? They gave this guidance, Treasury, in December of last year. They said the second stimulus check may land in the mailbox, even though the first one came by direct deposit, and even if you have direct deposit set up. Viewers were surprised because that message was delivered after the check was mailed. And what happened was hundreds of viewers of this channel in December threw away the check because the message from Treasury came after the fact. This time, the reason why I'm mentioning watch the mail every single day is because it happened before, it could happen again. The mail check will come in a white envelope or a beige envelope. This is what the white envelope looks like. It's very indescript. It looks like junk mail. If you're not looking at the mail, it could be thrown away. If you have people that steal mail in your area, you need to watch the mail and get it every single day as soon as it comes. This is money. It may either have the debit card in there from the government or the paper check. It's either a beige envelope or a white envelope. No seal on the outside, nothing particularly distinct about it. And if you don't look at the mail and wait for April 7th to roll around and you don't see a direct deposit, guess what? It was in the mail. You better go find that mail because it's in there. That's what happened earlier this month with viewers. Well, now it's last month. That's what happened last month with his viewers with this stimulus check. But last year, it was a bigger problem as no less than a couple hundred viewers threw the check away. Don't be that viewer. All right, let me cut to the other breaking and developing news if you're just joining me. First, the president has just announced that he has dispatched his education secretary to determine the legal validity of canceling $50,000 of student loan debt. This is huge. If you watched me earlier today, I delivered to you the video from Chuck Schumer, Elizabeth Warren, and Senator Menendez, in which they said to the president, forgive it by executive order, forgive it by executive order. After no less than being pushed about this since November of last year, November, January, February, March. Imagine they've been pushing for this for 4 months. They met with the president 3 times. Now they have a video recording about it. Finally, he's admitted to having someone investigate the legal authority about it and will make a determination in approximately 2 weeks. This is huge, great news. The other breaking developing news is that Mitch McConnell just announced that the Republicans will oppose the fourth stimulus package 100%. This is great news for you because the Democrats are now the vehicle to get you the reoccurring stimulus checks. Because Mitch's Republicans now vow 100% to oppose the fourth stimulus, that means it has to go by reconciliation. It can go by reconciliation. And when it lands in the Senate Democrats who want to do whatever they want to do with the bill can do whatever they want to do. And this week again, 20 of 50 of them said, we're doing reoccurring monthly stimulus checks. That's more than SSI and SSDI $2,400. It's more than Hazard Pay, and it's more than FPC Retro. This is huge, great news. Elsewhere across the board, there was that new video from the CDC that came out late yesterday. Let's tune in as the CDC addresses the concern of the growing strain of the virus. Let's listen to what she had to say.
In communities across this nation to help everyone have ready access to vaccines. With this expansion and additional efforts in partnership with FEMA and states across the country, we will be able to reach the administration's goal of making sure that 90% of Americans will be within 5 miles of a vaccination site by April 19th. And we recognize that 5 miles is still too far for many Americans. And that is why we are activating resources such as mobile units and clinics to those communities where this is the case to ensure they can get access to vaccinations. CDC is also excited to partner with the Administration for Community Living to support their efforts to get older at-risk adults and those with disabilities vaccinated. This is helping to provide critical access to COVID-19 vaccines to these individuals. Finally, I want to briefly share that today CDC is updating COVID-19 guidance for adult day service centers. These centers provide important social and health services to community dwelling adults age 65 and older, as well as to adults of any age living with disability.
Meantime, incredible great comments by some of the viewers of this channel in the last few seconds in this chat. Some of these comments I want to respond to because they're actually excellent. Kim Sherrill just asked, I think people who did their taxes on Social Security got their stimulus checks first earlier. No, I have hundreds of thousands of viewers who file tax returns have never got to their stimulus checks. People who got their stimulus checks who are on SSI and SSDI already, just randomly. There's no organization as to who got it before others. Then another person asked a question. I'm on Direct Express by Comerica. Nothing posted today. That's a great question. Let me go over this right now. For the big banks and for Direct Express by Comerica, they will only post the deposits on Wednesdays. So if you're a Direct Express consumer by Comerica, you will only see deposits post on Wednesdays, the 24th, the 31st, and then next week, the 7th, and then the 14th. That is the only days that Comerica makes deposit posting. Another viewer asked, what about NetSpend? When did their posts occur? Their posts do appear on Saturdays after the money is sent out on a Friday, and also Monday and Tuesday. Remember, these are the only ones that do release funds earlier on so far in the last few weeks. They are NetSpend, Green Dot, H&R Green Emerald Card, Cash App, Chime, and Bancorp. Along the way, there's not been a particular bank that pays on any particular day, any particular week, but every bank does pay on the Wednesday. So these are banks that paid the first wave on a Wednesday. On wave 1, March 17th, these banks paid. UES, Citizens Bank, PNG, Bancorp Chime paid early. PayPal, NetSpend paid early. Green Dot paid early. People United Bank, US Bank, PNC, Capital One Bank, and Lake Michigan Credit Union. USAA paid on March 17th. Also Union Bank. NetSpend, of course, early. MX Bluebird, Navy Federal, BBT, Woodforest, Bank America, Chase, Wells Fargo, Direct Express by Comerica, Green Emerald Card by H&R Block, and also Cash App paid early. For Wave 2, March 24th, these were the banks that paid on the 24th. Cash App, Chase, Direct Express by Comerica, Green Dot, Citizens Bank, BofE, H&R Block, Regions Bank, TD1 Bank, PNC, Wells, Arvest, and US Bank. Then for Wave 3, which was this week, these were the banks that paid early, and these are the banks that paid on the 31st. Paid early for Wave 3 were the same ones again, like NetSpend and MetaBank. They paid early. They paid last Saturday, then Monday, Tuesday. But this 31st, the banks that paid were US Bank, Bank America, Chase, Wells Fargo, and Direct Express by Comerica. And now you're up to date on all those as well. Wow, what a big recording with so much happening. Yesterday, the President of the United States addressed the American people about Ford's stimulus. Let's listen in a little bit about what he said during that recording.
American jobs will make sure every single every single American has access to high-quality, affordable, high-speed internet for businesses, for schools. And when I say affordable, I mean it. Americans pay too much for internet service. We're going to drive down the price for families who have service now and make it easier for families who don't have affordable service to be able to get it now. As we saw in Texas and elsewhere, our electrical power and power grids are vulnerable to storms, catastrophic failures, and security lapses, with tragic results. My American Jobs Plan will put hundreds of thousands of people to work, hundreds of thousands of people to work, line workers, electricians, and laborers, laying thousands of miles of transmission line, building a modern, resilient, and fully clean grid, and capping hundreds of thousands of literally orphan oil and gas wells that need to be cleaned up because they're abandoned.
And with that, let me give you the big recap where we are right in this recording. And I saw some of your great questions and comments while the president was talking there. Let me give you the big recap. Viewers asked what day. That was the most common question the viewer asked. This is where we are. If you are a Direct Express card holder from Comerica, this is what you need to know. Either the check is coming in the mail, watch the mail every single day, or it'll post next Wednesday. Understand, Direct Express card holders by Comerica are getting the checks instead in the mail and also on the card. So it could be in either location. It only pays on Wednesdays. So next Wednesday would be the next landing of direct deposits. But if it's in the mail, it could be any day this week and next week. Next, someone asked, what about net spend? Which actually seems to come up a lot in the questions now. Net spend, H&R Block, Cash App, Chime, also Bank Corp, and H&R Block and TurboTax. They sometimes pay early. Net spend always pays early. And that is Saturday through Tuesday. So they would only post Saturday through Tuesday if it was sent out this coming Friday. Remember, every viewer of this channel, watch the mail every single day. You could get that stimulus check in the mail, not in the direct deposit account. Elsewhere, if you're just joining me, let me tell you the other breaking news, which is the president has confirmed he has now dispatched his education secretary to determine the legal validity to forgive $50,000 of student loan debt forgiveness. This is huge by executive order. His determination will be about 2 weeks from now. Wow. Next. Mitch McConnell has now confirmed that Republicans will oppose the fourth stimulus package, which is great news for you because the bill will have to go by reconciliation, and that when it lands in the Senate Democrats have already indicated they're amending it to put in reoccurring stimulus checks, and they will get it passed. Wow, this is getting very good very quickly. Next, the president this week extended the CDC eviction moratorium. That is now extended to June. The president also signed a series of other executive orders concerning food and things like that being extended. Elsewhere, the president's fourth stimulus has not been reduced yet to bill form, but when it is, I'll deliver it to you as a member so you see it. And finally, the economic numbers out today are all over the place. The new jobless claims numbers went up, higher than Wall Street expected, and reoccurring jobless claims are still very high. But on the other side, the GDP number was good, about 4 or 5% for first quarter 2020, and that the second quarter, they're expecting GDP to jump to 10%, which would be one of the highest jumps ever in recent memory. If that's true, the Treasury has already and the Federal Reserve has already indicated they're going to stay and give you stimulus, even if those strong economic factors are out there, because the unemployment numbers are not particularly strong at all. And with that, thank you for joining me on Noontime LALATE. I'm back with you in just 5 minutes from now, joining me in that live chat. I'll be interacting and answering your questions. So if you have any questions you have heard in this video, jump into that live video coming up in just 3 minutes from now. It's a continuation of Noontime LALATE, and I look forward to hearing any other information you may have, whether you got a stimulus check, you got a new update from the Treasury tool, or anything like that. And with that, always stay informed, stay positive, stay focused, stay motivated, because the stimulus check is coming. Don't worry. I'm here, you're here, and I'll be back in just 3 minutes from now as Noontime LA continues.